Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. It is a Sunday afternoon in South Africa. I am Seshni Naidu, as you know me from all the interviews that I've been doing over the last couple of years. I want to welcome Charlene from Cape Town in South Africa. If people do not know where Cape Town is, it is the most beautiful part of South Africa. So welcome, Charlene.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Seshni.
So guys, for those that are watching, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Today's topic and today's story is about my home birth experience during COVID-19. And the reason why we had this topic today is because it has been Mother's Day in the month of May. And we said that this topic is a beautiful topic to talk about. A lot of people do not talk about their births. However, Charlene is willing to share her experience, what she's been through, and what it's like to be in this pandemic and give birth at this point in her life as well. So I'm sure this is going to be an amazing story to listen to. So Charlene, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to be here, and thank you for what you do for us, telling stories all
Oh,
around the world. It's amazing.
oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's been amazing listening to all the stories from around the world and get to
And
know the people.
it's important. It's important to share our stories because that's how you give your energy back into the world. Like people think they're alone. They think they're alone, and then when they hear somebody else's story, they connect and they go, I connect. I connect when I hear other people's stories. So it's so important. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. And that is what is the reason for the foundation as well, right? Is to connect people and to share experiences and to be enlightened that, you're not alone and that we all have common goals and common challenges, and it doesn't matter on the other side of the ocean. We're all the same and we are no difference. And the foundation, the Open Mic Foundation, brings a sense of belonging to people, to make people understand that we all go through this, just in different ways and in different challenges that we face and how we react. So thank you guys so much for joining us today. Please send your comments, your thoughts, through the talk today. Hi, Nelia's joining us. Hi, Nelia. So those that are online, please share with us, say hi. This is an interactive interview, so please comment. Charlene, before we go into your story, I think please introduce yourself and a little bit about who Charlene is.
So it still rings very strange on my ears when you say Charlene from Cape Town
Yeah.
because I'm originally from a very small town in the Northwest, Sunnishof. So a shout out to all the people in the Northwest. Like I'm born and bred a very small town girl. I went to high school in Potchefstroom Gymnasium, and yeah, from there on my world just grew and grew and grew. I went to Italy. I did some modeling there, and then I came back to South Africa to start my acting career. And I basically started working since 19, just worked my entire life through. I think at one stage I had 4 jobs to get myself through life, and to follow my passion and my dreams, because I just went like, when I was 6 years old, I said I'm going to be an actress, and through through a lot of work and prayers, I got there, and I had the honor to be in a lot of films, and married a man that's also, we have a production company together. So he's a producer. He produces films and documentaries, and at this stage we are mainly producing documentaries and also telling people stories. And I think it's so important, to share those types of stories as well, not just fiction. Like the factual stories of people are something that's very powerful. So that's me in a nutshell.
Absolutely.
I'm a mother of 2. That's the
And
most
that's why
important.
we're here.
That's actually the most important part. Like I'm like, leave the rest. So I'm
Yeah. Let's
Charlene.
leave the
I'm a
rest. Yeah,
mother
yeah.
of 2. I've got a 2-year-old boy. Terrific twos. The terrific twos. And I've got a 3-month-old little girl, and she's just, yeah, they're both little angels. The toddler, me, we're still on the he's got
Yeah.
his days.
I'm sure, right? Absolutely. Well,
So
you know what? Congratulations to your little baby girl. And
thank you.
I'm sure she's going to be a bundle of joy to you. So, yeah, I
I'm
mean,
also sure. Yeah, no,
I'm sure it's going to
it's
be
funny how you
amazing.
can I might be wrong. Like you said, like you have a much older child than me. So I don't know if I'm wrong or right, but I managed to tell their personalities like in the first like couple of months. I could say like Daniel is this and this and this, and Katie is this and this and this. So it would be interesting to see if I get it right. You know, I can already see like Katie is a lot like her dad. She's just chilled and very easy. And Daniel,
She's chilled.
fortunately and unfortunately, is exactly his mother. Like he's just like, I've got a goal in mind, and there's no stopping him, no stopping
Yeah.
him. So I'm fighting myself in the sense. So
You know, I honestly think is that, you know, you've identified their personalities or more or less of what you think that they would be, right? Journal that,
yes,
okay?
yes,
And journal what you now think that both of them would look
yes,
like because you've got
yes,
a 2 month gap between, 2 year gap
yes,
between them,
yes,
right?
yes.
And look at it as they grow up.
Yeah, yeah.
And you and I are going to have this conversation again, okay? Because I would be really interested to see what you think that they are now and how they are growing into these people, to these, you know, these
It,
personalities that you've seen right now.
it's so funny because I almost want to tell you I'm going to be right. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you
Okay.
why. I was 6 years old when I said I'm going to be an actress. Like that was like and I had never that was my thing, you know, like and I was I think 2 years old, and my mom will completely say true this amen. Like if I wanted to do something, I did it. And Daniel is like I'm gonna be right. Katie might be I might be
Okay.
wrong. She's
Okay.
I hope she's a little bit like a dad, so she gives me a break.
I am not saying anything to you because I have a girl and a boy, and I'm not gonna say anything to you, right? Hey Carmen, thank you for joining, guys. Please send you your comments, your thoughts, your questions. So Charlene, I think let's go into your story about your home birth experience, like, and what it was
Yes,
like. I mean, everyone, please take note, right? So the stories being shared is through the experience of the storyteller. It is through their eyes and what they've been through. It is a safe space to express one's truth in terms of their experience. So, this is of no means anything to anyone else that is listening to this or will be listening it once we've uploaded onto the different channels. Okay. So, Carmen, this is up, this is, you know, all ears. I've had my son is 21 right now, my daughter is 11. So, I'm far from that, and it's been a while. And a lot of my friends have had babies recently. I've gotten to know you over the last couple of months as well. So, and your story is going to be shared at the next
yes,
journal that's going to be
yes,
published in the next 2 weeks as well, guys. So,
yes.
look out for the 6th edition of the journal that's coming out on the 14th of June. It will be published on the different elements of social media and on the website. And Charlene's article will be featuring in there. So, Charlene, I am all ears. Just to hear someone's birth experience is going to be absolutely phenomenal.
So I think I can't wait for my words to be published, because I think I'm a much better storyteller as a writer than a speaker, which is so strange because I'm an actress. But I previously told you I'm a very big introvert. So for me, I need to take my time and like almost like digest words before I can put them down. So I'm very excited, and thank you once again that I could share my written word with you. And I'm very excited to share the public or the published version of that. But so just to also make this very, very clear to people, birth to some people are traumatic. It's a like some people have had a traumatic birth, and some people have had like it's a very triggering aspect to some people. So I know from my mom had two very traumatic births, both emergency cesareans. was a very, very traumatic birth. And I remember every time I felt pregnant, my mom really had so much angst around the fact that I was pregnant, and not about being pregnant, but for that day, like what will happen that day. And because for her experience was traumatic. It was absolutely traumatic. And I also want to add this before I tell my story, is that no mother has failed by not succeeding in the birth plan. Sometimes it's just the way things work out, but always, sometimes it's the system that fails us. So it's not you as a person. We must start questioning issues around the system. And that's where, like, we are way beyond a phase where if somebody says to you, this is the fact, where you can't question it, where you can say, is there a backup? Is there an alternative? Is there something else? So what happened to me and Neil with my first pregnancy, I was pregnant in Johannesburg at that stage, and I went to a gynecologist, and Daniel his due date was on Christmas. And I was kind of excited about the fact that it's Christmas. I love Christmas, but also like, I don't want a Christmas baby, Poor child, he's gonna like resent me for the rest of his life.
So something we have in common, because my due date for my son was also Christmas Day.
So, and you do go,
and I went into labor on Christmas Day and gave birth the next morning.
A boxing baby. Oh, that's amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, so you have the best gift of anyone.
I plead the fifth. Let's go on.
So the gynecologist said to me, we were sitting there, and the gynae went to me, oh, you're having a Christmas baby. Don't worry, we'll take him out 2 weeks before. And I went, wait a minute. What do you mean you'll take him out? Like, is there any complications in my pregnancy? No, none. So why do you want to take him out? Like, yeah, but you won't feel any pain. I'm like, but that's not your decision to make for me. And I started just delving into like, so I'm a massive nerd with the introverts. Like, I don't do anything without reading up and studying, and like I don't do anything uninformed, which is a good thing, but also a bad thing, because you can also be way too informed. But long story short, with Daniel's birth, we had a uncomplicated midwife-led birth in a facility called Origin Birthing Facility in Cape Town, because we ended up moving when I was 25 weeks pregnant. And that was also one of the main reasons why we moved to Cape Town, is like Neil's work was supposed to be here, and with COVID, all of that changed, but his work was supposed to be here. And we also found this amazing birthing facility, and we birthed there, unmedicated, uncomplicated. I had Daniel, I went into labor the night before, had my contractions at home, and I gave birth to him about 3 o'clock the next day. And I had Equinox gas, so that was the only pain management I had for Daniel. So then I felt pregnant with Katie, and from the beginning I said to my gynecologist and Neil, I want a home birth. And Neil adamant, no, we're not doing a home birth. It's not necessary, like, because Origin closed down. It just like, it wasn't making the money it was supposed to, and it just closed down.
So before you go into the details, so what made you decide to have a home birth rather than being in the hospital? Is it because of prior experience?
It's because Origin closed down, the facility where I gave birth to Daniel. We were like the second-class couple to give birth there before it just went, I assume, bankrupt. I don't want to put that term out there, but yeah, it just didn't make the money it was supposed to make. Okay. And I wasn't, that's a very loaded question. I'm going to tell you why.
Okay. Because, I mean, it's your decision why you did it, right? So
I didn't want any medical intervention. I didn't want anybody poking and prodding at me while I'm giving birth, because that is my journey. And having a midwife-led birth, It's a much different experience, I think, than going to the hospital. You're not on a drip. You're not on monitors. The only way they monitor, and you've had a cesarean, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
There's no, it's on my terms. It's on my terms having this baby. And because I had an uncomplicated birth and I had a low risk pregnancy both times, like I knew I was able to have a home birth. And at Vincent's, or at the hospital we were supposed to go, I wasn't. It's a wonderful, all hospitals are wonderful facilities. It was just not my choice. Because for me, birth is not a emergency. It's not a medical emergency. With Daniel, I think the pediatrician saw him once. Daniel was on me the entire time. Like, he never left my sight. He never left me or Neil. My birthing choices, I think, is much different, that sometimes are pushed on patients in hospital. I need an hour, they call it the golden hour, where you just, both my babies, and it's going to sound, you're going to go, you're talking nonsense, you're an airy fairy, this didn't happen. Both my babies crawled to my boob, because that is what babies are supposed to do. So babies in the golden hour have 9 stages of awakening. So they get born, and we also had a where the cord clamping. Once the cord stopped pulsating, then we cut. So that takes about, everything is very time. It takes time. And a hospital is a business. It needs to run. It needs to go, you know. And I don't want to be rushed through it. I wasn't rushed through it at Origin. I had a water birth with Daniel. And from the beginning with Katie, I knew I wasn't going to make the hospital. I knew it. From the beginning, I said to Neil, we are not going to make the hospital. No, you're being silly. I said to Neil, I said to my mom even, I said, this girl is going to come in the car. I'm telling you, we're not making the hospital. But being because we do hypnobirthing. So hypnobirthing, I've got all my books here. It's amazing. So hypnobirthing is basically just a mindset around birth. You know, you don't describe birth as a medical emergency. You don't describe it as my water broke, there's no emergency around it. You are just listening and enabling your body to do what it needs to do. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes it is a medical emergency. Like my mother's births, they were truly medical emergencies. In that case, I do say, do whatever you need to do what's best for the mother and for the baby. In my case, it wasn't the fact. I had checkups throughout my pregnancy. I was exceptionally healthy throughout my pregnancy. I exercised on the day that I got my baby. So like walking was part of my ritual as a pregnant mom, you know, like taking care of myself and the babies was a main priority for me. Once again, not to say that other moms don't do that. It's just my version of the story. And so COVID happened, and it's so funny, while I'm sitting here, like all my birth things are still on the wall here, like my list to do and my personal admin things are still on the wall, like what I should tick off. I never removed it for some reason. Like I kind of like, I'm still like, oh, I can't believe it's over. I'm like, I love giving birth. I know it sounds, I love giving birth. So COVID happened, and it was one of the most traumatic times, I think, for everyone. Like I can literally say, I think there's one common denominator in the entire world that everybody can relate to, and that is COVID. We all were hit with COVID. Like we all of it. Not one person can tell me, oh, I skated through COVID unhinged. You're lying. You're absolutely lying. So it brought us all down to that level of, you know, like, what is life, what it's about. It's about family. It's about, you know, like, we have to make the choices that is truthful to us. And we were put in a position where Neil couldn't be present at the birth, and for us it was non-negotiable, because Neil is my birthing partner. He is literally the one getting me through the birth with the midwife. I don't have a doula. So Neil, in essence, fulfills that role. And he decided, so non-feminist, but he decided, like, and then he decided, okay, no, home birth is now okay. And I'm like, you said I'm not allowed to have a home birth, and now all of a sudden you want to. So it was a whole thing, but I got my way. And it was so hard, like phoning my obstetrician. It was like breaking up with like a boyfriend. Like, it's not you, it's me. Like, and she was very, like, and she's a wonderful gynecologist, like, but she was like trying to persuade me to not do it. I'm gonna need to come into the hospital. I'm too far away. I'm in Noordhoek if something happens, you know. And we were both just adamant, we know nothing's going to happen, and kind of being cocky about it, but we said nothing's going to happen. And so this is the truth spoken. There are not any gynecologists left in Cape Town backing up home births anymore, which is something we are tackling through a documentary my husband and I are making, because it's really truly like the midwifery is taking a brutal beating. And there are two sides of this coin. You know, you've got the medical aspect that has a valid big position, and they should be there. You know, they save countless lives over and over and over. So I'm not dishing on the medical scheme or the private sector going like they don't have a place, and I'm not dishing on the midwives, but unfortunately there are always individuals within that systems that make it a troublesome aspect. You know, like one gynecologist makes a mistake and the whole system gets criticized. One midwife makes a mistake and the whole system gets criticized. So you have these two spheres pulling at each other, and who's stuck in the middle? The birthing mother. The birthing mother is going like, I don't know what to do, because I've got a medical system that is on defensive medicine. They're practicing out of, they literally practice out of defense because they get sued. A gynecologist can get sued until 19 years of age of delivery of a baby. So these doctors need to make sure that nothing goes wrong with a mum or a baby, not only for the mum and baby's sake, but for their own sake. Then you've got the midwives that have no backup. If you go and look, South Africa is one of the highest elective cesarean numbers in the world.
That I do know, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's surprising. I mean, when I heard your story about, you know, midwives and giving birth at home, I must admit, right? I think the last time I heard that is when my mom told me, and my mom is like 75 years old, right?
Yeah.
And back then, you know, and those generations of the older generation, should I say, is that they were comfortable doing it. That was the only method at that given point in time that they did home births, right? And I used to remember my aunts and them speaking about it as well.
Sesh, can I ask you, like, a cat or a dog, who helps them give birth? They just
absolutely. I hear you. Yeah.
So
I also think, you know what, Charlene, I also think as well, we so, and this is some of the things that I do tend to point out in storytellers that come, we are so used to society being dictated of what is right and wrong. We are so used to saying going to a doctor is the right solution. It's like being homeopathic or people that uses natural medicine and, you know, herbs and whatever that may be. And I'm just speaking out of what I've been, you know, when you hear stories from around the world, we are so used to receiving what has always been known and proven. But there is other methods and ways where people are so afraid, and listen, it's fear-based, right? A lot of it's got to do with
fear-based. And the thing is, if you really want to talk about this in a philosophical way, humans at this stage, we're being dehumanized. We're being dehumanized by you're not allowed to feel pain. You're not allowed to feel emotions. Oh, you're feeling down. Here's a pill. Oh, you have a headache. Here. Oh, you have fever. Here. Where all those things actually serves a purpose. Like a child having fever, that is the child's body fighting disease, you know. And once again, I'm not dishing any medical Western. Like I've got so many doctor friends that are sitting there, Charlene.
No, I'm with you as well. Listen,
but yeah.
So I have friends as well as in the medical field, and by no means am I saying that it is not a space to be at or not respected. I have the utmost respect for that. However, humanity and societies and our belief systems have created such a barrier to choices that we as humans can make, knowing our own bodies or our reactions to certain things. And I'm not saying for me, there isn't a right and wrong. For me, it's how does it make me feel by choosing this method as a choice that I make?
I think humans at this stage have lost their own instinct.
Yes.
I meet people constantly and they would say to me, oh, Charlene, you're so in tune with your body. How do you do it? And I'm like, I'm not in tune with my body. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do as a human, you know, like when I am sad, I cry. When I, you know, like, when I have a headache, I ask myself, did I drink enough water? Am I sick? Am I, you know, like you ask the questions before you just jump to a quick fix of something. But to get back to the story of birth and because I can talk about this for ages. I mean, yeah, I love technology and I love everything around it, you know, like I just feel, and especially with COVID that hit, like, I miss humans. I miss human touch. I miss, oh my word, Sesh, like we were supposed to have a baby with a mask on. Do you know what I'm saying? If I went to hospital, I would have met I can't even like fathom that fact, you know, like I couldn't meet my child. And on the video, like, okay, so I'll have to tell you the birthing story. So, Neil couldn't go to the hospital, so inevitably I broke up with my gynae. I had still one backup gynecologist at this stage because she actually stopped 4 days ago and just said, I can't do this. I can't be liable for this. Like I said, there's this tug of war going on. But luckily she was still helping me and being a backup by actually literally doing nothing. So she just said to me, everything's fine. You're going to have amazing birth. See you never. I'm never going to see you again because you're going to be fine. And so everybody told me Katie is going to come in my 39th week pregnancy. Being COVID, my mom and dad in their 60s drove down from Pretoria because they need to help me. My poor mom and dad, like, can you imagine my mom from a trauma, fear-based delivery? Her daughter is giving her home birth.
Wow.
And they're like proper Afrikaans, like Sunny's Wolf, you know, like my poor dad, like I actually take my hat off to my parents. And if they're watching, you guys are my backbone, like honestly, like I think other parents would go, are you mad? Are you literally mad? What's wrong with you? But they drove down, and the worst part is, so Katie decided she does not want to come in February, and every day I came down the stairs and my mom and dad is looking at me like this. Oh, is the baby still there? I'm like, baby is still in here. Like, and every day I would come down the stairs, and then the circle just became bigger, you know, like Neil was sitting there. Oh no, the baby's still there. Oh, damn it, the baby's still there. So every day. And eventually the 1st of March, I went for a walk, and that day the midwife scheduled or let me schedule a chiropractor's or let me go and see a chiropractor, Almi Black in Worcester. She's amazing. If you want your baby out now, go to Almi Black. She's your girl. And she's fantastic. So she adjusted me. This is also a thing that people, I think, don't know how amazing, like other ways of pain management. And like I saw a chiropractor through both my pregnancies, adjusting my alignment and my hip structure and opening my hips. I had a different chiropractor that actually managed to get Daniel out of his breech position in 38th week. She helped me to get my hips open, and he just engaged. So by that stage, she adjusted me, and in the session, I just felt, okay, something's happening. I'm definitely having surges happening. So in hypnobirthing, you don't call it contractions, you say surges. Just all these emotional loaded, indoctrinated words that you try and avoid, you know. And I came home and I said to Neil, you know what, I think it's definitely happening tonight. If you can maybe go out and get me a smoothie. And he went out to get me a smoothie. I had lunch with my mom. I took my boy upstairs and I started reading a book for him. And then I'm like, okay, it's really getting, maybe I should just lie down a little bit before the big commotion starts, you know. And I'm not going into too much detail. So my mom said, oh, you okay? I'm like, yeah, maybe I think I'm just gonna lie down. And my mom starts like putting two and two together, but Neil's away, he's getting a smoothie. And literally in, I want to say 5 minutes, I messaged my midwife and said, okay, it's definitely something happening, but my waters haven't released. Like, you know, there's no the usual culprits of in the movies that my water's broke and you know all that drama. Like, nothing of that. Very calm. And in the next minute, everything just came. Like, it was like water's broke, all the, like, I am full blown in labor. And my midwife, I messaged my midwife, I'm like, you better be here. And in 11 minutes, she was in my home. My mom and dad just took Daniel out, and I messaged Neil, I'm like, you better come home right now. And as Angela, so there's a big, I really want to make a documentary, because people that don't know this would think this is completely like crazy, but I was sitting on the toilet because that is the place that you feel the most comfortable, you know, like it's just and everything is sanitized for all the germaphobes. Like, I'm the biggest germaphobe out there. It's sanitized and clean, so just chill. Mom, chill. So I was sitting on the toilet, and the midwife, Angela Wakeford, she's amazing, and she came in and she's like, darling, are you busy pushing? And I'm like, yes. And she's like, where's Neil? I'm like, he's got a smoothie. And she literally got me off, and there was no time to even go into the water. Like, I literally had Katie. Neil managed to make it, and while he was entering the room, Angela said to him, oh, you're going to meet your daughter in a couple of minutes. Neil was like, what is happening? He was, I think, so flustered. And then after he got himself together, he put on my music for me, because like hypnobirthing, it's all calm and you don't scream and you don't I do, however, feel that you need to express yourself in whatever way you need to. And I'm a very emotive person, so I was very emotional and very primal. So I didn't scream like, help me, you know, like, but I do. You go into a mode of, you can't describe it to people. It's like being on a different world. Like, you're not present, you know, like people are talking to you and you're not there. You're just focusing.
You're not conscious. You're basically not conscious of what's right now, right?
It's the most amazing experience. Like, I think that's the closest of feeling like you're a super woman, you know, like that's the closest. I can't describe it to anybody. Like, you're in that moment and people are talking to you and you're like, it's just you and this end goal of, I know, oh, I'm getting emotional. I know, like, this is, I'm going to meet her at the end of this, you know, I'm going to meet my baby at the end of this. And you're so powerful. Your brain is so powerful. You can just go through it, you know, like, and when you think you can't I'm like getting goosebumps all over. When you think you can't do it, that's when it's going to happen. You know, when you think, when in every birth, when you think like, the moment you say, I want to go home, and I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I was at home, so that was great. I couldn't say that. But I was like, I can't do this. And then you just hear that, oh, look at this. Like, I've got, like, you meet that little baby, you know, and nobody was poking me. Nobody was prodding me. Nobody was in my space even. Like, I literally had Katie, and people always ask and they say, isn't it blood and gore? And it's not. Like, I had a little linen saver, and Angela, like, you know, it's like midwives are impeccable. They're impeccable. You don't, there's the only evidence that there's a baby born there is that there's a baby. That's literally it. You know, there's no blood, there's no gore, there's no 700 hot towels like the movies say. There's no lying on my back and screaming, oh, help me. You know, it's nothing like that. Like me listening, my boy was playing outside, he didn't have a clue. My mom was sitting on the stairs praying, bless her soul. She was sitting on the stairs praying, and she obviously heard me making noises, and she's like, this is going to be hours. And all of a sudden she hears the baby cry, and she's like, how on earth is this possible? And I went downstairs, I had dinner with my toddler, and I went upstairs and everybody met Katie, and Katie has never left my arms since that day. And breastfeeding amazingly. I got to see deliver my placenta, which I didn't have the opportunity to do on my own with Daniel. It was just amazing. It's not what people think. They hear home birth and they think, I think people are so, I don't want to put everybody in boxes, but I think there's not enough information around this for people to be comfortable with you telling them a home birth. And I think people are so used to birth equals pain, birth equals trauma, birth equals, you know, and I find that people will easily tell you how traumatic their birth are and was. And the moment you say, my birth was fantastic, people are like, what are you on? And with Katie, I didn't even have a panado. I didn't even have gas, you know, like and to be honest with you, from the get-go said to Neil, I think the gas was making my time harder with Daniel. And I still feel that way. Like, I feel like naturally I could control what was not control, because the whole point of giving birth is to let go. That's actually the point of giving birth, is to let go and to just let your body do what it's supposed to do. And there's so many books around. If there's mothers out there, I think that if I'm allowed to share a book.
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
So the Hypno Birthing, if you can see there.
Yep, Hypno Birthing, the breakthrough approach to safer, easier, comfortable birthing, the 4th edition.
The name, we don't like the name. Even Hypno Birthing practitioners would tell you, like, the name is not what it's supposed to say. It's basically, if you just Google it, there's lots of practitioners in your area that can it's basically just a fear release program around birth, and that deprograms your brain to think birth equals red, birth equals blood, birth equals screaming. It's not that at all.
Yeah, I think, you know, people have different experiences.
You can birth with a cesarean. That's the thing. Yeah. So the whole principle of it, it's not that it says, okay, you must, you know, it's about having your baby in a calm, controlled, where the mother feels, this is what I want, not what somebody else tells me I should have.
Yeah. Sorry. So we have a comment here from Carmen. Carmen says, I can seriously relate to all of it. I just didn't have a midwife saving me from the toilet. Harley dropped.
I remember reading Carmi's. I know Carmi. That's Carmi from Victoria.
Yeah. So she says, Harley dropped into the toilet. Me, Supermom saved her from the toilet. And yes, experience you can't truly explain it. And that's so true, right? Because everyone's experience is so different. It's absolutely different. And every 2 kids, or how many kids you have, the births are never the same. And you never the same, because you get older and you're younger and things are different, and it's never the same. I mean, I can tell you, you know, you're talking about, you know, hypnobirthing and at your life at this point in time. My little one was 6 weeks early.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So she was in distress, right? And when she was born, she was 1.9 kgs.
Oh, no.
It was hectic.
Yeah.
And she was in the incubator for about a month. And it was, you know, an experience that I would never forget, right? However, it was never planned. It was 6 weeks earlier. I mean, it happened.
Yeah.
It was something that was out of your control and that you couldn't do
Exactly.
anything about it, right?
Yeah.
Whereas when I had my child, my firstborn, at the age of 19, holy cow, was that I cannot tell you that experience at giving birth at that young age, at a hospital, and afterwards I suffered with post-traumatic
I
stress.
agree. I'm at 19. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
you're not
It
emotionally
was it
prepared. Yeah.
was it was insane. I mean,
Yeah.
at that point in time, I that night I called my husband and his family. I was away from home and I couldn't handle. I didn't know what to do with this child,
Oh,
and
no.
it was hectic, right? It was so traumatic for me that I cried and didn't know what to do with the child. I didn't know. It was traumatic. Traumatic in the
I,
sense because I had post-traumatic stress at that time, right?
yes, yes, yes.
And I think my body went into a shock and I went into a shock. But I can tell you now, both experiences that I've had, it is my own experience and I would never
Exactly.
ever change anything about it. Because if I look
Exactly.
at my kids today, I am one proud mama, that I can tell you,
Oh, that's
right?
amazing. And that's the thing. I think the whole gist of the story is that I think people, the only thing I would like people to get out of these stories is to be more informed. Like
Yeah.
at 19, I don't think you had a grasp of,
Oh,
I don't want to talk, I don't know.
hell, I didn't
If I
know
was
what.
19 being pregnant,
Yeah,
like I said, like I'm almost 40 and I still don't have a grip on myself. Like,
me
I'm still
too.
like
Hello.
figuring
Me
out
too. Yeah.
like everyday life, and at
Yeah.
19, I think firstly I was way too selfish to have a baby. At 19,
Mhm.
you're conditioned to survive. So
Yes.
I wonder if you were properly informed as a 19-year-old the way you
Oh
should
no,
have.
absolutely not. Absolutely not. And it wasn't something that was planned. At
Yeah,
the same
yeah,
time, it does make you think, Charlene. We are so in South Africa, guys, and I'm speaking about South Africa. You hear about young teenage pregnancies. How informed are they?
no.
And are they making the right decisions about pregnancy and about their births? And to your point, I don't know if they have. I mean, I was 19. I mean, that is like almost, decades ago. But what I'm saying is that
21 years
today, if
ago.
you look at, and today, yeah, today, if you look at, the kids that are getting pregnant, are they informed? Do they know what their options are? And I don't think that we speak much about birth and speak
But
about our own
this is not
experiences.
only related to 19-year-old, like
Oh, yes.
like birthing
Teenagers.
parents.
Yeah.
Birthing parents, point, full stop.
Yeah.
Is not
Yeah.
They're
True.
not informed. And we have to have a license to drive a car. We have to have a license to have a weapon. We have to have a license for an identity book, a what. But we can have children at free will. I'm just leaving it there, like where do we draw the boundary of saying, like, why aren't we informing people? Why aren't we helping people to raise a generation and people where
Mm.
we make informed choices rather than just blatantly accepting what's given to us, like.
Yeah.
And the term sheep mentality is thrown out a lot, but I do sometimes agree with it, because I don't think people understand how much power they actually have as individuals,
Yeah.
and some people, I just want them to know that they have power over who and what they choose in life, even. Yeah. Oh, I get very passionate about this.
I know. I can hear it. I can definitely hear it. I don't know if this is your dad or your mom, Ronald
That's
Brover.
my dad.
Is your dad? You're an amazing kid, Dad. I must say, she is amazing.
Oh, I told you they're gonna comment.
Yeah, we did, and we took a bet on this, by the way, Dad.
Dad
And
was
she,
good.
yeah, that was your mom, but okay, it's the same thing. It's your dad. It's okay. So you owe me. Okay, guys. So
Oh,
I think I think the one thing is, is to also highlight as well as that, we do have choices. And, whatever choices we make, it's about also seeing, what is it that we go through in life. But I think for me, I'm interested to see the documentary that you would be releasing. Do you have a release date yet?
No, so we're in the process. I am actually going to get my baby quickly because
Yeah,
she's
sure, no problem.
just give
It's
me a
okay.
second.
Sorry, everyone. Charlene's just gone to get Katie quickly. I think she's just woken up. And as a true mom, we can't just leave the baby crying. So she just went to get us. So just hold on for us. Dad Ronald says, "We as parents are proud of you." Oh, that is so kind.
So
Oh, this is
there she is.
Katie. Oh, she's gorgeous. She's
So
gorgeous. Thank you so
we
much for sharing her.
we are in the process of making the documentary, and yeah, so we will definitely keep people updated with that aspect. So
Yeah.
I think I need to feed this little one.
Yeah. No, absolutely. But listen, thank you so much, guys. There isn't any questions. There was just a few comments. So thank you so much. Charlene, please, go on to, on the foundation's page. You're welcome to share some of your insights and some research that you have about the birth. You are more than welcome to populate that to inform people. And if they have any, questions, I mean, I'm sure they will post it. And I just want to say thank you so much for coming on to Open Mic and sharing your story. Is it Angela? Angela, the midwife. It is such a leisure to assist Charlene and Neil in their birth.
Oh,
Thank you so
Angela.
much.
Oh, no, I'm going to cry. Angela is the best. Angela Wakeford is like she empowers people to be superhuman, like I think it's
Yeah,
superhuman to carry a baby and to have a baby. It's like amazing. Like being a mother
yeah.
is truly a blessing.
Yeah, it would have been awesome to have Angela on, but thank you so much, Angela, for watching and sharing the communication. You are welcome to share this talk with as much as people to inform people. Angela, thank you so much for the knowledge that you've passed on to Charlene, and
Yes,
thank you so much.
definitely.
I look
Yes,
forward to seeing you in Cape Town soon, hopefully this
yes,
year.
definitely. Yes.
Charlene is going to be participating in the Resurrection exhibition that we will be hosting in October in Cape Town this year. And Charlene is actually one of the storytellers that has been selected. However, she's not
Sweet.
talking about this story because she has many stories in her chapter, and she is going to be sharing some other stories of who she is and how she's got to where she is. So Charlene, thank you so much. I do not want to take up more time of Katie because I do not want to have Katie telling me how I kept her from not being fed. All right.
Thank you so much, and thank you
Yeah,
for
so
the
fantastic. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate you. Catch Open Mic on social media on Facebook. We have the Open Mic Foundation. We have a YouTube channel. And we also have an Instagram account as well. So please follow us. We have some exciting stuff that's coming through in the next couple of months. And please listen out for some of the projects that we're busy with. We're going to be entertaining and getting more people and storytellers. We have some campfires continuing. We have some Women Days talks. So thank you guys so much. And yeah, we do have a homeless drive that is taking place right now. And it's actually a winter drive that's taking place. So please, there is 3 spots to actually drop off the blankets, the scarves, and all of those things. So please do join us. Just watch the Facebook pages, the Instagram and social media. There is information about where the drop-off points are. Fourways, Centurion, and in Pretoria. We are collecting beanies, scarves, and blankets for the homeless. We have extended it as a lot of people have asked to extend it. Please, can you just drop off and contact us on openmicfoundation@outlook.com for more information, or even post it on social media. We're happy to address anything that you may have. We will be delivering to the homeless in town, and our team will be going out. You'll be seeing there have been some people that have been posting as well. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful afternoon and enjoy the rest of your day. If there's any storytellers out there that would like to contact us, we have various projects on the go. Please do contact us. You are more than welcome to share your stories with us. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day. Cheers, everyone.